They fired me for attending my grandfather's funeral, and 6 months later, that same manager tried to erase me from existence. So I did what any wronged, exhausted, and sleep-deprived new parent would do. I unleashed hell on his phone, his inbox, and his entire peaceful little life. And let me tell you, he never saw it coming. If you've ever wanted to serve cold, satisfying revenge to someone who pushed you too far, hit that like button and get ready for a ride. Because today, justice gets loud, messy, and just a little spammy. A few years back, I was working what many would call a respectable corporate job. You know the type. Glass offices, forced small talk in elevators, and managers who smile to your face and stab you in the back the second you blink. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. Life was steady, until it wasn't. One morning, I got the call. The kind of call that doesn't just ruin your day, it shifts the ground beneath your feet. My grandfather, the man who helped raise me, who taught me how to ride a bike, balance a checkbook, and stand up for myself, had passed away. He was more than family. He was a mentor, a father figure, my moral compass. Losing him wasn't just painful, it left a gaping hole. Naturally, I did what any reasonable person would do. I requested emergency PTO. I explained everything to my manager, who I'll call Todd, because of course his name was Todd. Cold, clean-cut, and always more worried about deadlines than human beings. Todd leaned back in his leather chair, fake sympathy dripping from his voice like molasses. Sorry to hear about your loss, but we really can't spare you right now. Quarter end is coming. You understand, right? I didn't. I pushed back, asked about FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. Todd smirked, that corporate puppet smirk, and said, unfortunately, grandparents aren't covered. It wouldn't be compliant. Compliance, a word used to justify inhumanity. I told him clearly, I'm going. I need time to grieve, to help with the estate. I won't be able to come in for at least 2 weeks. His reply? A thinly veiled threat. If you leave, you know what that means. We'll have to terminate. And terminate they did. A few days later, I received an official letter, a severance offer, a 2 weeks' pay, but only if I signed an NDA, a gag order, and an indemnity clause. It was a legal straitjacket. Shut your mouth, don't sue us, pretend this never happened. I refused. No money in the world could buy my silence for something this vile. Now here's where it gets interesting. Our last official conversation was dated August 1st. That's what I put on LinkedIn. My job tenure ended at the beginning of August. But the company? Oh, they marked my termination as July 31st. Benefits purposes, they claimed. At the time, I didn't care. I had bigger things on my plate. Mourning, helping my family, trying to breathe again. I moved on. Fast forward 6 months. It's January. I'm up at 3 a.m., cradling my 6-week-old newborn, surviving on cold coffee and 2 hours of sleep. Suddenly, I get a LinkedIn notification. Todd viewed your profile. Weird. Then, a few minutes later, an email from LinkedIn. Todd had disputed my job history over that one-day discrepancy. July 31st versus August 1st. Seriously? This man, this heartless automaton, woke up 6 months later and thought, you know what? Let me mess with someone who just had a baby. LinkedIn sided with him. They removed my experience entirely. And now, because I no longer had a company email, I couldn't even re-verify it. That petty, small man had essentially erased my professional history, all because I dared to grieve. My blood boiled. Sleep-deprived, emotionally raw, and fueled by righteous fury, I decided enough is enough. It was time for Todd to learn that some people don't get to stomp on others and walk away. I still had his personal number. His home address? Easy to find. His personal and work emails? Bingo. So, I got creative. I signed him up for every spam newsletter I could find, cooking tips, crypto scams, miracle diet pills, questionable dating site. You name it, he got it. Then I leveled up. I contacted every moving company and real estate agency in his city. Told them I was relocating cross-country and had an $800,000 budget for a home. Asked for urgent callbacks. Gave them all his contact info. Imagine his phone lighting up with call after call. Real estate agents foaming at the mouth over the lead. Moving companies promising cross-country services. Emails, texts, voicemails. The best part? Todd's role was client-facing. He had to answer. He couldn't afford to miss a call. I confirmed with a former coworker that his phone blew up 4 days. Both his work and personal numbers were swamped. He looked frazzled, panicked, constantly stepping out of meetings. Did he know it was me? Maybe. Maybe not. But those calls, they started hitting him within an hour of that LinkedIn report. He tried to erase me. I buried him under spam. Through that guy. Some say revenge is a dish best served cold. I say, serve it loud, messy, and in bulk. Todd wanted to play petty games. He wanted to poke a man who was grieving, sleep-deprived, and done being stepped on. He got exactly what he deserved. The difference? I didn't need NDAs or legal threat. Just a Wi-Fi connection and a will to make karma do its thing. Here's the thing about power. People like Todd think they can control others with rules, policies, and intimidation. But real power? That comes from standing up when you've been pushed too far. Grief, pain, betrayal, they either break you, or they forge you into something stronger. In my case, they forged someone who isn't afraid to fight back. If you felt even a fraction of the satisfaction I did watching Todd's world implode, hit that like button. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma hits hard. See you in the next one.